Hello everybody and welcome to Hairdresser Power. Hey, check it out. We're a little late today. I know you all were expecting to see your one and only Nancy Ngouy here, but she had a little fender bender.
I did.
You're okay though?
I am. Everything's fine.
Yeah, she got sideswiped coming up. She lives in lovely San Diego. Great place to live, right?
Yes, beautiful, beautiful.
And that's where you work and live and where your salon is, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, my salon is located in Bankers Hill. You know, it's kind of a little spot in San Diego, just right above downtown.
Sort of cool,
yeah.
Huh? It's a cool place.
We're right next to Balboa Park.
Oh,
so,
gorgeous.
Yeah, it makes it great, like walking and just a cute little area. So
now you get a lot of walk-ins, or?
We don't. No, we're by appointment only. A lot of people find us through online.
Yeah.
A lot of us are already built, so we're good.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we talked a little earlier because we had a little pre-interview time when you were getting mic'd up, and you are a smart lady. You're a very smart lady, you know.
Thank you.
You look young, but you have some experience going on.
I do, yes.
And I'm glad that you're here because this show is a channel-neutral show where we share information with people to try to, like, sometimes everybody thinks, oh, well, this is how life is as a hairdresser, but when we have someone here like you that's actually doing it, it kind of enlightens people, and that's the goal of Hairdresser Power. I think,
yeah.
So thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So, okay, it's Nancy Ngouy, and don't annoy her. And that used to be your handle, right?
That used to be my AOL handle from many years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And now social media. And let's talk about that a little bit first.
Okay.
Because I know you are a stylist that can do it all. We know that. But oftentimes with social media, you'll focus on certain things. We were just talking a little bit earlier about some of the posts that you feel like, wow, that was one of my easiest techniques, but yet I get the most love. So talk to people about that.
Well, as we were saying earlier, you know, I've been 12 years in the industry, and what I started off was like, you know, covering the grays.
Yes.
And now everybody's like, make my hair gray.
Right, exactly.
And your highlights, you know, they come in often.
Yeah.
So, and that's the clients you want. You build a relationship with them. That's what you want. Is like, I describe as, you know, getting a client as the first date. And after the first date, you know, you want them to get the ring on the finger and develop that relationship, and that's what I feel.
So you've been listening to my seminars, that's what I say every time. I agree with you, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, but nowadays, you know, with social media, which is not bad, I mean, it's given us so much great things, is that, yeah, sometimes I'll just slap, you know, a Vivid on, maybe 2, and I get 3 times as many feedback.
I know, and you're like, what about my corrective color I did that's so amazing?
Yeah, it went back to natural, and you know, it's like I had to tone, I had to fill, I had to cut, I had to condition, seal, and gloss, and you know, it took me forever, and I get like 2 likes. And
I know,
like, okay.
It's so weird. And then the funny thing is, oftentimes you say, you know, like, you know, it's kind of like you're getting this hit, you know that, right? You know, you need your little drug from the likes, right?
Yeah.
But now it's like, what about talking to me? Like, it's so funny. Like, people don't talk to each other anymore.
Yeah, and a lot of times, well, as of lately, I'm still very much that old school hairdresser, and my clients have been with me forever, and they're like family. So a lot of times, I only take maybe 10% of like photos and videos of my clients. Like, I see an average of about 6 to 8 people a day, and I know a lot of the newer stylists who do these amazing unicorn, you know, mermaid hair take about 1 or 2 a day, because it takes up to 6 and 8 hours.
Right.
So I'm used to back to back clients, so I don't always get the chance to take all these photos. So I only take the huge projects, the ones that people really want to see and people connect to. You know, so sometimes it's a little trying, you know.
Right, well, I agree.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is about your time and your money. Yeah. Because think about it, these large projects, sometimes the client expectation is
not,
a little askew.
Because they see, you know, people are just smashing these colors out back to back. What they don't understand is that a lot of us, we kind of do these projects and we repost them at different angles and different times, and you know what I mean. And I think any hairstylist can relate. Like, you know, it's just like, oh wow, it's like you know, you bring some workbook from a year ago, repost it, and you're like, oh, I didn't really do that much on this one. This one I like put my heart and soul to, and like nobody's getting a response. But on my last post, I think we were talking about this. I did a mini video, like a quick video of a color correction I did. At the very bottom, I went to detail what I did, but also posted the time, the amount, and the maintenance of it as well.
The expectation.
So they would, so people would know. And the hairdressers, I got really positive feedback from, you know, other people saying thank you for posting it, because I don't think people understand.
They don't.
No, the amount of work, the money, and the upkeep that comes with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, I had the opportunity of obviously to hang out with Vidal Sassoon every once in a while when I was younger.
Yeah.
And he always used to say that same thing. If you don't look good, we don't look good. And that's part of the expectation of the client, the consultation, and your ability to make sure they have the products and the training to maintain that look you've just created
Very
over
true.
what?
Yeah.
11 hours sometimes. I mean, it could be
Exactly.
crazy, right?
Yeah. And yes, and I always try to explain to my clients or the classes that I've taught with other stylists and my, you know, my assistants, is that consultation is the most important thing. And it's not selling a product, it's guaranteeing your work after. So, you know,
Okay,
it's
right
like,
here, come on. Forever I've been saying that.
Yeah.
But wow.
yeah, and I always, you know,
She just went up, she was already a 10, now she's what, a 15 or something? Because the brain, wow, amazing, thank you.
Thank you.
No, but do you understand?
Yeah.
And I go all over the United States, and I have like hundreds of people that come see me in these big seminars. You know, very few percentage of the people understand that, what you just said.
Yeah.
You probably found that too in your classes.
I
We
do,
need to, our industry is challenged,
Yes,
okay?
yeah.
Because we don't educate ourselves about the right conversation, right?
Exactly, and it is putting into perspective. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, and like, if you say this to your client, like, oh, buy this, it'll make your hair feel awesome. Like, okay, a million things can make my hair feel awesome.
Right.
But we know.
And is it at Ulta?
And it
Because if
doesn't,
it's at Ulta, why are you carrying it? Because it's destroying you, right?
Exactly. It's like, you know, there's coding, there's like instant gratification, but there are things, that's why you have to educate yourself on your product, what it does, and not everything's made for everyone. And, you know, with my clients, I guarantee my work. I'm like, if this doesn't work for you, bring it back.
Absolutely.
No questions asked. You know what I mean?
like it's not, the product is not who you are. It's only a tool.
Yes, it is.
In order to help maintain the beautiful work you've just done.
Exactly. And I let my clients know, you see me once every few weeks to 2 months, hopefully on average. You see yourself every day.
Exactly.
The sun, the environment, what you're doing to your hair, what you wash it with, the filters in San Diego, the water here is horrible.
Oh, yeah.
You know, all these things are very important to know. You know what I mean? And it'll guarantee your work. And if you educate your clients or your students or anybody or your assistants, it will come back and you'll be good.
Absolutely.
They really appreciate it.
Well, think about it. If they're out there in the world, they're your best advertisement.
Yes, absolutely.
And if they're not maintaining it, you don't look good. And that's the whole point.
That's true.
And the other thing is, if you're doing some kind of a platinum service, like say where you have regrowth,
Yes.
past a half an inch,
No.
now that becomes a double process.
Exactly.
So how do we incentivize them to rebook?
You know, well, one, nobody wants to look unattractive. And
that's true.
as the world today.
But it's a shadow root, right?
It is, yeah, exactly. But you can be shadow roots, but those platinum blondes that are solid need to be
that's a line of
platinum blonde.
demarcation.
You know, so I tell them, you're going to pay me double. You know,
Yes.
it's going to save you money. Two, you know what I mean? Like, if you want to keep this look going and you want that perfect platinum, you have to come back. So I tell my clients a lot too that I can't give you this if you don't commit to it.
So you need the pre-book.
Yeah, I need the commitment, and I will be that, hey, you know, I noticed you rescheduled, but just to let you know what I mean?
It is actually 30 days, not 60, because now we have a challenge where we might have to break a band and things of this nature.
Exactly, and you let them know. You explain this exactly what I have to do. It's not easy. You're stressing me out, you know what I mean? Yeah. And you don't want to stress the artists out, because then like the work won't be beautiful.
Because you'll annoy them. Get them?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, hey,
nice. We had a drum
comedian
set
over
here.
here.
Yes.
Hit it. Okay. So I love it. I love your philosophy. I love your practical philosophy. But then you said to yourself, well, I am a very artistic person. What's my outlet to show my work? And that's where the social media came in, right?
That's where the social media comes in, and it's very fun. A huge part of it for me as of lately is connecting with other artists. And I've been enjoying the idea of collaborating and just supporting and seeing all these amazing work, things that I would never try, you know what I mean? Because I'm more of like a classic stylist.
Sure.
And I'm trying these new things. I'm getting out of my comfort zone, which I like to do a lot, because I feel like if you're comfortable, you're really not pushing yourself forward.
I agree.
So, you know, that's what I'll get inspiration. I'll be like, yes, I'm going to take my Monday and my Sunday.
Maybe this can be done.
Yeah, and I'm just going to I don't know, make some awesome, like.
Well, you know why the chicken crossed the road, right?
To get to the other side?
Because the possum told him it could be done.
Okay.
Because, you know, possums like get hit too.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said, wow, there's a possibility of me crossing the road out and getting hit. So when you see these things, you're like, hey, that's my challenge for today.
Yeah.
And then it pushes you on your creative boundaries and as a stylist, right?
It does. It does. I don't see it as, competition or like I need to be doing what this person is doing. It's like, this is amazing. Let me give it a go.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Put my own twist to it. And then I'm always like, I tried this thing that you did and it was awesome.
Yeah.
It's just like a really great tool to connect and share education, because we all kind of develop our own little things to kind of get by in life and little tricks of the
agree.
trade.
Yes.
Yeah. And now people are sharing it and everybody's just doing amazing hair now.
Well, that's why I wanted to start the Hairdresser channel neutral. No, not about products. I don't care. You could talk about Joico. You could talk about Ngouy Tang. I don't care here.
Yeah.
I want to share the information to make hairdressers better and give them back the power, because we have a lot of power as hairdressers.
Yeah, we do.
And we empower people's lives. I mean, you could take a person that's maybe having a bad day, turn it around, and they might have self-confidence and get that new job or whatever. I mean, and they say, oh, I don't do photo work. Photo work, people say, wait a minute, people take selfies every day, and that's your work on their selfies.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of power. We have to realize it and respect it, right?
I agree.
So that's where I agree. Sharing that information, sharing that knowledge, and then helping others. Because have you come to this point in your career where you realize when you start to educate and you start to teach others, that improves your game so much?
It absolutely does. I start noticing little things of why I'm doing it, the reason for why, because it's such an instinct for us to, like, we're cutting, but we can't explain.
Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, why did we just do that?
It's like, why did we cut this? Because when it lays down, like, it comes a lot of chemistry, a lot of physics, and we have to explain it. And once you have to explain it, I feel like that's when you really understand and you can teach. So I do think it's important.
I do too.
Yeah.
I think the first teaching experience that is good for stylists is to train an assistant, because that is very challenging at times. Can you work with this individual that may have these restrictions and help them overcome? Then when you can do that, then you can teach others, right? Have you experienced that yet?
Yes. I've had many assistants over the time, and so definitely a learning process. I do feel like I like to share. I like to support. I like to encourage. And I feel with assistants and helping them move along their career, it's been great. One of my assistants now, she's managing a pretty successful salon in North Park, and she reached out to me to teach there. And so just things like that, having that connection with them and seeing them do well, makes me really happy. It makes me really proud. You know what I mean? So just definitely teaching them, I learn a lot about myself, a lot about my technique, and I feel very satisfied that way.
Yes, I tell you, I've gone everywhere from being a stylist to owning salons and beauty supplies, manufacturing, working for manufacturers.
Yes,
it's a progression in the industry, right?
You've done a lot.
And it's so satisfying. And some people are okay just doing their everyday
thing,
stuff, and that's okay for them. But people like yourself and myself, we want to progress. We want to notice everything, still have the basic skill sets, but you go into other realms which you never would have thought in beauty school, right?
Yes, that's true.
Like when you first came out of beauty school, what was your goal?
To do hair,
right. Have
to
fun
learn
and
hair.
make some money.
Yeah,
right,
I really, going out of beauty school, I don't, if you've had the same experience, most of us did, is that you don't really know anything.
No.
If you put me in a chair, I wouldn't know what to do.
No, you don't know how to build your business.
No,
you don't, none of it.
No, I wouldn't even know how to do a proper haircut to save my life. I don't think. And that was really scary. And that was my experience. I didn't really have a ton of help or a ton of guidance. The beauty fashion industry wasn't a part of my life or growing up. I grew up very tomboy-like.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I had to learn a lot of it. I didn't cut my own bangs. I didn't color my own hair in high school. So it was definitely an experience a hard learning experience.
Oh, I can relate. Yeah. I initially was from the construction industry, and I went in when I was a teenager, and I'm like, the faster you comb the doll out, the better, right? To get the tangles out. That's not how it works.
No.
Yeah, so you probably had the same thing. A lot of girls or a lot of guys come in with a lot of background talent.
Yeah.
But they're not always the ones that become successful in the future.
Yeah, there is, I've always kind of broke people down in that. There's the artists who are just naturally gifted
which
and
wasn't
talented.
Me, for
Definitely
sure.
wasn't me. And the people that had to know the where, when, and why of things. And that was me, definitely.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I had to really read on it.
And I was competitive because I felt like when I was in school, I wanted to roll that perm in 20 minutes because this girl could do it.
Yeah.
And they make fun of you because you're a guy. And so
I
was just competitive, and it drove me forward. And I think that's another way to be successful.
Definitely. I mean, I failed a lot. Failing in life also is a huge learning experience.
Absolutely.
I'm going to fail more, I'm sure, in the future.
Oh, all the time. I fail every day.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So it's just everything is a learning experience. It doesn't really matter how you start out. It matters where you end up.
Yeah.
Always, yeah.
I love it. I love your
Yeah.
philosophy, and thanks for being
Thank
here.
you.
Now,
Yeah.
what we're going to do is, anytime you want, I think we have some questions. We'll pick those up, and now we're going to show, normally we do your 5 top posts, but
Okay.
we're lucky today, because you gave us like about 13 different things we're going to talk
did.
about.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
You know, usually
Yeah.
people are like, oh, I don't even have 5, and they
Yeah.
do.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you realize that, you recognize that. And I have some questions here, and I'll just go through it, and let's see what we have for our first question. Okay, show questions you created. Oh, they're not up yet. I don't have anything. So I'm sure there will be, let's see, maybe I don't know how to use it. Show questions. Oh, here you go. I do. It just came up. Look at that.
Okay, perfect.
So here you go. It says, do you change hourly, or excuse me, do you charge hourly or by service?
It depends. I charge by service, but when it is labeled a color correction, that's when I charge hourly.
I agree.
Yeah.
Or even the rainbow stuff.
Yeah, the rainbow stuff.
Or the platinum stuff.
Yeah, the rainbow, when it comes down to a project that I don't know, and most of the times when I explain to in a consultation, it's like, I won't know what I'm dealing with until I get in there. When I start removing the layers of history, because, you know, you're talking to a person that doesn't know hair. And they're not always honest or remember
Oh, yes.
what the history of their hair is.
Absolutely.
So I tell them I don't know until I get through the first layer.
Yes.
So once you do the first remover, stripper, whatever your drug of choice is, then I can tell them more a definitive time of where we're going to go with this and what I can do for them.
And do they have the time? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do they have the budget?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And we'll discuss that at that point.
And
huh?
so, you know, and that's exactly what I explain to them is like, I don't promise anything. I don't guarantee anything. It's just only after the fact. And I'm like, okay, this is what I can do for you. This is what we're not going to be able to do today.
Do you oftentimes that like younger people come in and they say, I want rainbow hair, I
Yeah.
want this, that, other, and
Yeah.
they're just blown away by how much
yeah.
time and effort?
Absolutely. I was like, I'll break it down. It's like, yes, I can do that for you. But this is what you'll have to, you know, kind of go through. This is the cost and this is the maintenance of it. And then their eyes are kind of like this big and they're just like, okay, maybe not.
Right.
You know.
But it's good that you at least go through that
Yeah.
to let them have a realistic expectation
Yeah.
of what they can achieve.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah. And, you know, so.
Well, it says another one here. Ooh, I don't know how this is not coming up here, but let's see. It says, what color work do you consider more? This thing's not rolling up on for me, but okay. It's not working. But it says, what color, can you see what it is, guys? What does that say? It says, what color work do you consider more complicated? What color work do you consider more complicated?
Definitely making things back to natural. Color
Yes.
correction that involves bringing your hair back to its natural state, like natural things like a natural balayage, a classic balayage, making sure you're consistent and the blend is there without having to shadow your root or tone or blur things, you know what I mean? Like definitely having a gentle hand when it comes to things like that.
There you go. Well, that's good. Yeah. And I think a lot of people completely stay away from that kind of work because they don't have the skill set. And that's where a person like you could come in and teach them because you
Yeah.
offer education, right?
I do, yes, absolutely.
That's great. So how do people get in touch with you if they want to?
Through my social media, you know,
Okay.
Hair by NN. There's my
you.
profile and all my contact information. You can book through there. For classes, I do one-on-one shadowing.
Ooh.
I do classes in my salon. I usually have a guest. You know, I actually am doing some classes with Russell Mays, who's
Okay.
a brilliant cutter. Just anything I offer, or you just
So
want to come
so
hang out.
maybe at
Yeah.
one point we could help promote you through Hairdresser Power if you're interested.
of course,
that'd be wonderful.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah,
I love
absolutely.
this.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, now I want to start to get into your looks and your
Okay.
different videos. So let's see what we have first. Okay. And you can look over here. You can see that or whatever you'd like to do. So walk us through this. What's going on here?
This is Kate, and you know, she had really, really dark hair. And what we were trying to do is kind of soften it all. And this is basically a classic freehand balayage.
Okay.
So I used the clay-based and kind of did the face contouring is what we did.
Yeah, I noticed that. You're mainly framing the face.
Because she has this beautiful eyes, great bone
Yeah, it pops
structure. Yeah, so it accentuates that. And we gave her a really nice cut, a really fresh chic cut to kind of enhance the color. So what I did was just kind of started where her temples were to highlight her cheekbones and her jawline, which is very
Now, is she one of your customers, a comment, like something that you'd see that you do quite often, like a normal type of customer?
She's my normal client. She doesn't involve involved in social media very much, but she pops in every now and then. But she's a normal client that comes avidly and consistently.
Good, and that's the ones you want, right?
Yes, that's the ones you like.
Nice work, nice work. What do we have next? Okay, here, what's going on here? You got something going on.
This one, oh, aquamarine. Yeah, this is a mini video of a fun color we did.
Okay.
Where we basically are doing like a foil high lift on her, because this is all natural, and she's actually my client's daughter that we're doing this on.
Oh, wow.
So it's her first color.
And what was her natural level?
Her natural level was about a 5.
Okay. It looked about a 5.
Yeah, it's about a 5, and then we lift her without trying to damage too much.
Oh, that turned out nice.
So
now,
really
you know, with these subtle colors like this, you really have to watch the placement initially.
Yes,
so can you give us some advice on that?
Placement, you know, there are usually starting, I kind of like to smudge the tips with the darker shade. Like I use Nightfall, which is the darkest, and then I'll like hand smudge the aquamarine down to the lighter shades. So starting with the darker to kind of blend that root up, and then blending it to the lightest shade.
And what about your bleach placement initially before you apply? Yeah.
The same. I try to do the blending first, like making sure that you're lifting and making sure that your lines are blended. Then your vivid and pigments will easily place after that. Yeah, because if you're spotchy, it's going to show up
It's not going to work. And that is, then you're talking corrective color times 10.
And then you're like, oh God, I have to go back in here and redo this. And like, you know, and a lot of times I don't think people understand a lot of colors, you know, even though the direct dyes are vivid, you kind of have to do it twice.
Yeah, oftentimes.
Yeah, oftentimes.
And if your placement for the bleach was correct initially, or the lightning was correct, then you can do that without a problem.
Then you can, no problem.
Because on a level 5, it's not going to show up.
No, it's not. You're really going to have to lift, be patient. I think that's the thing. You have to be patient.
Yeah.
You know, especially with all these kind of products that help to maintain the integrity of your hair, which is a necessity to use.
I think so.
Yeah, but you have to be patient.
Good. Well, that's good advice for people. And the thing is, like I say, if you do it right the first time, then if you have to go back in, no problem.
It's easy, and touch-ups will be a breeze.
Well, yeah, you know, you've seen these videos or these posts where people said balayage gone wrong, and there's a huge line.
Like a line, yeah.
Like, how did that happen, right? That's nuts.
Oh, for many things. I mean, it could be the pincette you're using, you know what I mean? It could be the pressure of your brush, or you're just not doing a balayage.
Yep, so guys, if you're wanting to get into this kind of work, it's probably a good idea to get somebody to come in to train you. Or to get a class or something.
Yeah, if you're hands-on, visually seeing it face to face. It's hard to see it on camera.
It is.
It's a very subtle, very gentle technique.
Like there's anywhere from backcombing to the way you do your sectioning, to the brush you use, to the consistency of your
lighteners and levels and
absolutely. And we vary peroxides, all these other things, which takes time and learning. We've been doing a tour recently with our product, the F18 product, and offering free balayage classes. And it's funny, there's so many hairdressers that have, and every week I'm out in my team. And I go out there and there's people that have been doing hair for 40 years. And they're afraid. They don't realize it's not magic, it's technique, right?
It is. It's all technique. It really is. And it does take a while to catch up. And you know, it's like, it kind of is, you see all these videos of people just painting, you know, with paintbrushes and anything that they're using. But, you know, it is, you use whatever you feel comfortable. If it comes out beautiful, that's all that really matters. But if you're looking for starting from the ABCs and learning your technique, and then I feel like you can do whatever you want, incorporate whatever you want. It's learning the rules so then you can break them. Isn't that a true artist?
Absolutely.
You know?
I love it. Great philosophy. Do we have a question? Oh, we do. We have another question. And it's, I can actually read this one, I think. What is your favorite direct dye remover?
A remover. I actually really enjoy using the L'Oreal remover. It has a little bit more of a kick and more freedom where you can dilute it and make it a little bit more powerful. I feel that some direct dyes and some colors, they're impossible to move. And then it kind of helps with metallics as well, because you know how sometimes if you use a high lifter, it'll start to burn and leave kind of black holes in them. With the remover, it kind of shows them right before they burn, and then you can remove it accordingly.
And do you
Yeah.
re-oxidize after to double
Yes,
check?
absolutely.
Yeah. And see,
Always.
that's the thing that
Yeah.
a lot of people don't realize is that, you know, you're shrinking the color molecules and you're rinsing them out. You're physically removing them.
Yeah.
But you need to put some peroxide on it after it in
Yes.
order to re-show if there's color there.
Exactly, because a lot of times, you know, when I'm doing color correction class, I'll let them kind of, you know, they're not following directions or reading them. I'll just let them kind of like see what happens.
Yeah, and they're going, wait, the hair turned brown again.
Yeah,
What's
it's
going
like, why
on?
did it go back? It was blonde before. I was like, did you read step number 3? You know?
Because there's
Yeah.
maybe still some residual molecules
yeah.
that you've shrunken down. They're not expressing colors. When you put the oxygen back in with the oxidizer, oh, we're expressing color again.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
because you didn't do the steps. So there you go. Love it. Good advice. This is beautiful. This is commercial, beautiful, all day long making money, right?
Yes, I'm at one. She's a beautiful girl.
Yeah,
So that
well, that does help.
Let's all admit that having
Yeah.
a beautiful model makes life a million times easier.
Yeah.
So
Did you do her makeup and stuff?
I
or?
did not.
Okay.
Again, she is. She's just the full package here for me. So
Got
she
it.
has a lot of hair. She has a ton of hair. So again, we did a balayage on her. She was already kind of had a balayage, and we decided to kick it up and do an intense balayage. This one, we brought it high. We did every basically single hair, and then we toned her.
And there's overlapping going on,
yeah.
obviously.
Oh, yeah.
So that's where you do need a bond builder.
Yes, that's where,
Yeah.
Bond Builder was definitely all over this hair.
Yeah, had to be.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice because before, if you'd see something like that, back
Yeah.
in my day and your day when you
Yeah.
started,
Yeah.
we would say, wow, we have to be so careful. We'll
Yeah.
have to hair mask it.
We'll
have to do all these
definitely,
techniques. But now with the bond
spray
builders, right.
in between, and then maybe even remove some pieces out.
Oh, yeah, even the broken ones? Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I love bond builders. I'm just confidently just slapping it all over it. So
Hey,
yeah.
it allows you to be more
It
creative.
does, yeah.
Well, we have another question here, and it says, do you like the Pravana or Rusk color remover? Because you talked about all
yes.
these L'Oreal. What do you feel about those?
I've tried both of them, and I think that they're both good removers. I just think that they definitely, you know, time is money. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And everybody works differently, and I like the philosophy of Pravana, where it's like a bit more natural and
Yeah, it's a little more gentle. It
Yeah,
is.
more gentle.
We've done a lot of testing on that here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you definitely have to use it up to 3 times. I had to use it 3 times to make a dent. And
Yeah.
with some things, it didn't even move.
Right.
So with color correction nowadays, that people are being a bit more aggressive on hair, and the bond builders that are allowing you to be more aggressive, I tend to take the bit more aggressive route. With experience and watching your hair, you know what I mean? Whatever you feel comfortable using. But I do like both of them. I feel Pravana is great. Russ is good. I haven't used it lately. I've used it a few years ago, and I felt that it was good, but I think Pravana was great. It's just I had to use it a lot more.
Yeah, okay.
And they weren't as aggressive as I personally
So you want to
needed
go
them to be.
aggressive. You're ready to go.
With just certain things, yeah.
You don't want to get annoyed by wasting time, correct?
Yeah.
Important.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody has a different thing. Some people are hitting stuff with 40
yeah.
all the time, or 50 or 60, and there's these older ladies I know that use 100 volume.
Yeah.
But, you know, once again, you got to know what's up.
You just have to know I don't think it's wrong. I think it's your skill level and what you're comfortable with using.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've seen people use 60 vol with heat.
Yeah.
And let them sit for 40 minutes.
Yeah,
And
but-
I'm over here like, oh my God.
Yeah,
know?
I definitely wouldn't recommend heat at any time
Yeah,
because
yeah.
slow and low gives you better development,
Definitely.
and you don't get your oranges because once you separate the bleach powder from the peroxide, the only thing lifting your hair is peroxide at that point, but you're only getting kind of orange tones.
Yeah, I personally don't use heat
Yeah, neither,
myself,
no.
but I've seen people do it and their work comes out fine.
Yeah.
So again, like.
Well, you know, there's
yeah.
new bleaches.
There's, yeah.
You know, obviously the bleaches that we promote only have potassium persulfate, which will remove artificial color and lift a lot better. They're a little more expensive, but damn,
Yeah.
your time's worth it.
Absolutely,
For $5 more? Are you kidding me? You've
to
made
make-
$300.
I don't put a price on product. I
Yeah.
really do seek out whatever the best that works, and I'm
Yes.
willing to pay. You know,
Yes.
you just kind of up your prices. So,
I agree,
yeah.
right? You know, as long as you're popular, right? So you're the popular girl. So there you go. So
Yeah.
I love this work. So this is something commercial that we'll see all the time. You know, we talked about the overlapping. Now it's not an issue for
It's
you
not
because
an
of the
issue,
bond
yeah.
builders. I love that.
Definitely, yeah.
Hey, you've opened yourself up for a lot more work and a lot less stress.
Absolutely.
What do we have next? Oh, is this the same gal? Or is,
No, this is totally different.
oh,
She
this
has
is
a
new one.
bit
Yeah,
more
that's right.
of like a
and a lot more hair, it looks like almost.
Tons of hair. And this one, you know, this one is another classic balayage.
Yes.
A lot.
Was that a straight up first time balayage on her?
No. This one,
repeat?
she was working her way up to this again. Like, and that's the thing with the classic balayage. And if you explain it to your clients, and this is great for people who want a little bit of color, but not a huge change.
Right.
So this is maybe her third session. With me. Yeah,
okay.
And you know, this is Asian hair as well.
So what's her natural level?
Her natural level is actually right here. We don't
So it was like
shadow
a 3,
root her.
it's about a 3,
She's about a 3, yeah. So
Yeah.
we don't shadow root her. Of course, when you lift her, all Asians are orange, red.
Right, and you wanted to get caramel.
And
be-
caramel, honey
yes.
tones to honey. And so that's all.
Did you tone with
I did,
this?
absolutely.
And what did you use to tone?
I toned with Wella. We did a 8-81 color touch.
So you're in the 8s.
Yeah.
Which
in
is
here.
nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. But it cools it down. It gives it that depth that you want. I think people are kind of scared to go below 9, but you need that depth. You know, because then you're just making it, it looks muggy without the depth.
Well, you know, you can go into the 1s if
Yeah.
you know what you're doing and tone just like that.
Yeah.
You know that, right? Because it has the full spectrum of color.
Exactly, yeah.
And there's different techniques there.
Yeah.
But obviously, for most people, they're going to go, hey, I'm going to use something that's already preset for me.
Preset,
But,
10s,
hey, don't be
11s.
afraid to go in the 8s, right?
Exactly. You know, but if you want that richness, which I know everybody's like, ash me out. You know what I mean?
Ice me out.
Yeah,
Ash
or
me
just
out.
like, but there's something with, you know, warms that pick up light. That's
Well, for
really
me,
beautiful.
honestly,
Yeah.
when you look at Asian hair and you look at a level 3 or a level 1, because you know Asians are only people that really have a level 1 hair, or Eskimos, or you know things of that nature. When you go too much of a contrast, oftentimes it has that skunky, I call it the skunk look, where it's too much of a contrast.
Yeah.
And if you're going for a real fashion look and you have the cut and the straightness to do it, then it can be hot.
Yeah.
But for the most case, you want to look like a playmate. You want to look
Yeah.
like a sexy woman.
Yeah, you need that warmth. You
Right.
know, there's always going to be transitional color.
Yes.
You just have to use the right tone where it's not going to be super
harsh.
aggressive, so harsh. You got to
Yeah.
blend. You know what I mean? Like
Some people want harsh. Some people want
they
pierced
do.
lips. Some people want to wear black lipstick,
and if we want that,
which is awesome.
Yeah, I can color block for millions of miles. You know what I mean? And
but
like,
for the most part, this is bread and butter.
Yes, this is bread and butter. This is what the normal, like, people want to walk the streets with.
Absolutely.
You know, they don't want one bang covering their face.
Right, I know.
You know what I mean? Like, so this is definitely something that's usable, likable.
I love it.
Yeah, they get lots of compliments. It's,
All the time. And a lot of referrals from something like this. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you look unnatural but so naturally?
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? Yeah.
Great job, by the
Yeah.
way.
Thank you so
Wonderful.
much. Yeah.
We're cool on questions so far? Very good. What do we have next? Okay, here's another really nice commercial, and this is a video.
Yeah, it's a little mini video.
So let's see what you got going here. This is the first time I've seen this.
Oh, really?
I'm getting surprised.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is on Amy, and again, she has really textured hair. And this is, I didn't do any shadow root.
No.
This is the hand painting with actually just a 20 vol, you know,
Yeah, it'll
a
come.
clay base. Yeah, it'll come. But she is, you know, she's about a 7. She's about a 7.
And did you tone with this one, or did that just pull up like that?
That I had to tone because she picks up warm. She has
she did.
she has some Hispanic background in her blood, and you could tell like with her hair, she's, you know, it just picks up warmth, and we wanted to kind of beige it out a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, she had a lot of more orange tones, and I want to make it more gold.
Yes.
But it
Mission accomplished on that one for sure.
Thank you. So.
And that's the thing, when people go in and they have this expectation, I don't want it to be harsh, but I need to have a stylist that can handle that, especially if they have the Hispanic background, Middle Eastern background, where they're pulling the really orange or warm tones.
Yeah.
You need to know how to handle that.
Definitely. And, you know, for me, in the area that I'm in, that's basically all I get.
Oh, well, think about it. You're not too far from the border of Mexico.
No. And, you know, I'm being Asian descent myself. You know, I know how
You
to,
are? I didn't notice that.
I know. You can tell by my accent.
I thought it was just, the way you did your makeup, Good job.
But, you know, so I get a lot of clients with, you know, ethnic hair.
Yes.
That's also my bread and butter.
They don't go anywhere.
I love all of them.
Once they get a person that can deal with ethnic hair, which is a little more challenging sometimes,
it is, yeah.
They're going nowhere when you make them happy, and they're going to bring their family in, and you're like their secret weapon.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't understand, my stylist. She is awesome. You have to come see her. And next thing you're like, wow, this is what it's all about.
Yeah.
More people wanting to come in my chair than I can do, so I could raise my prices. I didn't say that out loud, did I?
Yeah, you did.
But that's your game,
the
right?
truth. It is.
We have a question? Oh, we got another one.
Okay.
Hey, you're getting some good questions today.
Yay.
It says, what is your favorite formula to shadow root on Asian or Hispanic hair? Here we go.
Asian or Hispanic hair?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, let's see. That is a really hard question because
I know, because it's so variable.
it is. Like, if you're thinking about covering gray, everybody's different.
I agree.
Everybody's different. I think, obviously, and how high the concentration of the lift is. So that's a really hard question to answer. You want to, I think the rule of thumb, the best way to answer this is the rule of thumb is when you shadow root, you want to match their base color.
Okay, like their natural base color?
Yeah, their natural base color, or what you're trying to achieve.
Or what it was before it was 50% gray.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you want to match their natural base color.
Yeah.
And that's the rule of thumb.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
For aesthetics.
For aesthetics,
Okay.
yeah. Unless you consult with them and you're like, you want to go darker. But that I don't really have a set formulation. I never use one formulation
Right.
for the same person.
So the guidelines or the rule of thumb would be if an individual comes in, regardless of their percentage of gray, if they
Yeah.
want a shadow root, what we're going to do is we're going to try to match their natural
Yeah.
before gray or
Yes.
partially gray
Yeah.
coverage.
Yeah.
And then if they want something dramatic, you go from there. But if they didn't know and you had to make a decision, you would say the answer would be?
The answer would probably be, like, for Asian, it would be kind of like a 4,
Okay.
kind of natural ash.
Okay.
Is what I
and
would
color on color is going to equal darker color anyway. So
Yeah.
if there's artificial color there, it might go to a low, to a 2 or a 1
It
if
could,
it's color
yeah.
on top of color. But you're going to take that in
But
consideration.
if you're gonna shadow, but dealing with shadow roots depends. Everybody shadows root differently as well. I always do it on damp hair, towel dried in your seat, and then so you can apply quickly. And
God, you're good.
most
Because this is what I
likely,
teach people. But somebody taught you.
Yeah.
But that's good. I'm glad you do that.
So and so that's
Yeah.
what you want to do. Watch it fast and rinse it out. So that's why it's really hard to give you a formulation
Yeah.
depending on how you do it.
But tonality is a rule of thumb
it's-
is go with what their natural
Yeah. is, especially because if you're asking hair by NN, I do natural balayage.
Yes.
So my clients come back to me because their outgrowth is beautiful. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? Like, there's just like, it looks the same. I still get compliments. You know
you
what I
not
mean?
this
Like,
ugly line.
yeah, there's no line of demarcation. I do hair that is very wearable, user friendly. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so that would be my answer if you're
Good
asking,
answer, by the way.
for me.
Because that's why I smiled a little bit. I go, ooh, she's going to have to answer this tough one.
Yeah.
Did you have another one? No, we don't. Well, let's go to the next picture.
Okay.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah,
this is all about you, right? This
Yeah.
is like you.
Yeah.
Not meaning you as a person, but this is what you specialize in.
Yes, I mean, most of my photos are this, and most people seek me out to book classes and clients. Yeah, again, she's basically a 1 naturally.
Wow, a natural 1. Okay.
She's just very, very dark, very hard to lift. With her, we do a combination, and we can't always use natural balayage because she doesn't want that natural color. This is definitely high contrast.
Okay, yes, it is.
Yeah, so I did definitely a lot of back combing technique and
to break the
balayage.
edge.
Yes, to
Yeah.
break the edge to get her to that point to lift. And for the first one, we had to do this twice on her.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, you pulled it off because you kind of had a system, probably. In other words, when you would have to do something twice, if you didn't have a system of application, you're lost.
It's
So that's
pretty-
kind of what you teach, right? Is
yes.
like, hey, you need to know where you are in the head at all times. And that's important because otherwise oh boy.
It is, and looking at this, there are no shortcuts.
No, not on this.
And people are always like, how do I get to this faster? If you don't work fast, get somebody to help you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, teamwork is important.
And
It's
then
important
vary your
where you
proc
work.
size,
Yes, exactly.
bottom
Like,
line.
start at 10 if you
Yes,
need to.
if
If
you're-
you work super slow, start at 10
Yeah.
and at 40.
Yes.
It's just, you have to, there's no shortcuts. And
Yeah.
she has massive amounts of hair.
That is great advice.
Yeah.
And obviously, she's of some kind of Asian
She
Pacific
is,
Islander.
yeah. She's Pacific Islander.
Yeah.
Very dark hair.
Yes.
A lot of
Yeah,
it.
all my stuff that I make, I mean, we're
Yeah.
not talking about me, obviously,
Yeah.
but what do you think about me? No, just kidding. But no,
Yeah.
it's based on, for me personally, and as you know, and I like a fellow hairdresser that understands about working on Pacific Islander hair, that's where I started.
Really?
Obviously,
Okay.
because I'm from Oceanside and we have,
yeah.
And I think that if you can work on Pacific Islander hair and your products will, in fact, perform on that hair, that's the true test.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree, and that's why I stick to what I stick to.
Yeah.
I'm always testing new great
I'm
stuff
going to give you a
out.
bunch of stuff to test before you leave. So more stuff.
Yeah, I'm
so
excited about
because
that,
it's
yeah.
really good on Pacific Islander
I
hair.
love testing stuff.
And we have another question, and it says, do you use foil to create balayage looks on dark hair?
I do. I use everything. I use cellophane. I use mesh.
Cotton, foil.
Cotton,
Yeah.
of course, just to lay on. And then I do the dry balayage where I don't use anything.
Just take V sections and work from the corners.
Exactly.
And,
it depends on really the texture, the density of the hair. I'll tackle each job as I need to.
Do you mix your bleach to consistency?
I mix my bleach to consistency.
Good. Okay.
Yeah,
That's important
always,
too.
yeah.
I always recommend that
Yeah.
as well. If you have a bleach that allows you to do that, not all of them do, but
Exactly.
yes.
Yeah, and you follow sometimes. You know what I mean. Like, but I always say consistency. For me personally, it's by the feel.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, it's just that sweeping motion. I need that consistency.
What about, I mean, I haven't seen your technique videos, obviously, but what do you feel about brush as far as drying it out? Like, do you have a technique for drying your brush when you're going up, or do you just basically wipe it off? What do you do?
I use a pen chat, so that's what I use to kind of. I'm again classic kind of. I have a comb in one hand, cotton in the other hand, so I'm juggling it all. But I use a pen chat to smooth it out, and it helps. You know, I use that to clean my brush off, and when you need to, there's like a moist towel. I'll wipe it off, clean it off. But I try not to use water because, you know, water.
Right. Well, you can wipe it off dry because once it dries, it's not going to activate.
So, but what I use, it helps to kind of smooth out your product before you get it on, and it just helps to clean out. I always tell people, keep your stuff clean. Then your balayage will be clean.
I agree.
Yeah, because I've seen people just like a tornado.
Oh gosh,
and it's just, it makes me
a wet brush flicking it up into the top. It gets, and you see little spotting.
And you're like, I missed. It looked like I flipped. There's a big hole right there, and you know what I mean. So keeping it. So clean.
Discipline.
Yeah, discipline, clean, taking your time. I know it's having patience again.
Okay, there you go.
Balayage.
So sometimes it's like
zen out. Yeah.
Yes. Not hype up.
Yes.
Relax.
Yes.
I like it. Good attitude. Do we have another one over there? No, we're good. Let's go to the next one. That's beautiful work. Wow. And this is something that you get a lot of hits on, right?
Yes.
Though it's not the hardest thing to do, it is.
It is, but underneath it is hard.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't just, you know, smack on bleach, and I still do the balayage, but high concentrates of it. You know what I mean? With this, we did something definitely more intense. A full balayage where I still blended it, but I used all her ends basically.
Okay, gotcha.
So for that pop, and then
well, you can see.
Yeah, so it's a double process with my lovely purple hand because that comes with the territory of her
exactly.
job. And you know, dried it 100% and then put the Vivids over it.
Yeah, drying it's important.
Yeah, she's actually, her base, we did we did a mix of black and violet to kind of give it that depth.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, I've seen some photos where people don't put Vivids on top of the
Right, and it just kind of doesn't transition sometimes.
No, it doesn't. It kind of gives it that better blend. So there's like a little...
that's a more dimensional, not such a flat look.
Yeah, so...
I agree. That's a good technique. Hey, good advice. Did you hear what she said? Tell everybody that again. Yeah, that was a good word of advice. Go ahead.
So, you know, also don't forget to touch up the base also to give a good blend as well. So, because she's a 5.
Normally,
naturally, yeah. Okay. So, but when you want it to be cohesive,
well, when you're looking at even your vivid colors, they have a level that they're corresponding to. Like the blues and the purples are in the 3s, you know, and then obviously the reds go up to like a 5 to 6, and then the oranges are considered like an 8, and there you go.
Yeah.
So you have to consider that even on your vivids.
It is. It's just all about it's visuals. It's having a style. You know, it's knowing. You know, you can't just be good at hair. You also have to understand the aesthetics.
I think it's your professional signature. You could almost call it that.
Exactly, and you know, and why I used Vivid to cover her roots is because it will fade equally as it would fade on the
all
Vivid
the little
purple.
things that make it just
just
here's you, here's everybody else, and here's you as a stylist.
But your clients appreciate it.
They do.
Well. They really do. They're like, oh my gosh, it lasts forever. It faded beautifully.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's less work for me because we all know permanents are hard to break through, while Vivids I could break through when I bring it up again.
Well, the other thing is from the client standpoint, when you're in demand, then you can actually be more creative because your clients kind of trust you a little.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and that's the thing that they love. They always said to me is like, I just love being able to sit in this chair and be like, I feel colorful today, or I don't know, just do whatever you want. I usually love it. And that's great.
That's when you have the best job in the world, huh?
And I think that's really, I love my job for that reason. But you create a stress-free environment, so you want to go to work.
I tell people that so often. I go, if nothing else, please listen to me so that you can fire the clients you don't want in your chair.
I'll listen to you any day.
Do you know what I'm saying? Exactly
absolutely,
my point.
Yeah, you get to pick and choose. You know, after I mean, working for so many years in this industry, and
you learn what's important.
Exactly.
Like before, you're like, I'm just going to do wild stuff to shock people.
Constantly.
And then you're like, why am I broke?
Why? And also, why do you want to work a billion times hard every day on every single client? Why you're gonna age yourself, you're gonna stress yourself out.
Cortisol, all those hormones and negative, and they suck your energy.
Exactly.
And they don't have any money, a lot of them.
And they usually are very demanding for no reason. It's like you're making and there are amazing people who are very reasonable and very realistic and who are the same culture as you.
Yes.
Where it's not work. You're sitting there catching up with your friend.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you need to seek those people out and put the right energy out.
Exactly.
Very important.
It takes longer to find that clientele, but once you know and you accept it and you find it, life is grand.
It is wonderful. I agree. And that's one of the things that I always preach, you guys. You want to have more demand than you can have in the chair, then you can pick and choose who's in that chair. I love it. Oh, we have another question. Wonderful. And it is gray coverage a big part of your business?
Yes.
I kind of know the answer.
Yes, 100,000 times. Yes. It is. And, it's not easy. No, it's not. I mean, you have...
Well, I can make it easy. I'm going to give you some stuff. I'm going to give you something to make it easy for you.
Okay, thank you. I would appreciate...
I've invented something that covers gray like nothing else.
Yes,
so
I would love to hear all
And I'll let you tell
that.
everybody, not me. So go ahead.
I will. If it's amazing, I will definitely scream it at the top of my lungs. It is my bread and butter. It is something I do every day, every work, every time I book. Gray is something that we're always going to fight. Like anything with the beauty industry, aging is something that we're always going to fight.
That's our job.
Yeah. It is something I do every day, all day long, nonstop.
And the thing is, it's the most contested service that the grocery store companies are trying to take away from us. And that just frustrates the heck out of me.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes I say in my seminars, why would you carry a brand that's owned by the grocery store company to cover gray when your most productive client, you're letting them take away from you?
Yes.
Nuts.
Yeah.
But people don't know their stuff.
Yeah, and that's the thing, but that's like, it goes back to educating your clients and be like, okay, yeah, you can totally do that. I'm not going to tell you no. It's once you start like preaching and telling people no.
You got to do it smooth.
You'd be like, but listen, if you do it like that, then here's what's going to happen. But if you do it like this, you can get this.
Absolutely.
You just have to explain it to them. And I think I'm able to do that because I needed somebody to do it to me.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? I was that client that, I before I got into the hair industry, I used like Pantene and Herbal Essence. It smells good,
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't know any better.
And it really was shiny until you tried to get that wax coating off, right?
Exactly.
Hey, why isn't my hair coloring? Well, because you got all this wax on it.
Yeah, just put it from a real person's perspective.
Yes.
That's all it is.
And it only takes a little bit of knowledge.
Really
some basic knowledge.
Basic knowledge. And then, because I was that person, and then now I've educated myself, and obviously it is my career in my industry, I know exactly why it's doing that and why you shouldn't, Well,
we need a lot more of you because that's an empowered hairdresser, which is Hairdresser Power.
Exactly.
It's just a little bit of knowledge. It doesn't hurt, right?
No, it doesn't.
It's okay.
Everybody.
People are scared to learn sometimes,
I don't know
especially
why.
nowadays.
I love
I'm surprised.
learning.
Me too. I love it. Number one.
It's great. Yeah.
Number one. Do we have any more? I mean, I think that's it.
Can I add to the
sure,
gray?
Absolutely.
I want to advice that I've been doing for my clients who, I have clients that come to me 2 to 3 weeks to cover gray, which is wonderful. But sometimes they're like, is this excessive? So, the little sprays that are happening now, I just send them home with my clients and be like, listen, use this for the hairline in between. And they're just like, it's amazing. I'll keep coming to you and I will seek nothing else. If you make their life easy.
You took care of them.
Yeah. If you take care of them, they can't leave
just
you.
the little things.
They can't leave you.
She loves me.
Yes, she loves me. Look, she got this.
I agree.
She
That's
makes my
so wonderful.
life easier.
I got some stuff on my sides because I don't color my hair at all. This is all natural.
Yeah.
Except right here I have some gray. So what I did is when I do a shoot, I just take this little powder. It's like eyeshadow powder. And I just put, you can't even tell. You can see that I have gray hair, but
it just kind of
blends
gives
it out.
That little, it's just that little extra. If you do that for your clients, they will never leave you. They appreciate you, and you're guaranteeing your business to come back over and over again. And you're always going to have to change that because hormones, body changes, everything changes. Your formulations are going to change.
Absolutely.
Everything. So.
And that's where you got to be aware. Don't just run on autopilot.
No.
Because then they're going to run on autopilot away from you.
Exactly. They're like, oh, my hair, that's the number one reason why when I get new clients in my hair. She just couldn't do it what I wanted.
Yeah. She
That's
couldn't
just what it
achieve
is.
what I needed.
Yeah, what I needed.
Because you know, oftentimes I'd be doing big hair shows, and we'd have the one smart guy
Mm-hmm.
that worked for another company or something try to challenge me, and the answer was always, "So who are you doing hair for? Yourself,
Yeah.
the hairdresser, or the client?"
Yeah.
And then he just went, "Oh, I got
Yeah.
it. Yeah, you need to shut up because you know what? You need to listen, right? We need to
Yes.
listen,
Listen.
but we have to have the knowledge in order to achieve what they're asking for."
Exactly. If you don't know, shut up and ask questions.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so-
And make sure we're talking the same language.
Yes.
And then you're going to be very successful. And don't put them into something that they're not willing to maintain or do at home.
Oh my gosh, that's so important. It's knowing your client. If your client has 4 kids and is a stay-at-home mom, maybe she doesn't want mermaid hair. Maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they don't realize they do
Yeah.
want mermaid hair.
Yeah,
they
they do.
absolutely do.
But they gotta
don't
work their way
realize
up
the
to it.
work that
Yeah.
it takes and
Yeah.
that it only looks good
Yeah.
maybe for a week.
Yeah,
Or,
and
yeah.
I never say no. I never say no to my clients. It's like, yes, we can totally do this, but let's try this and slowly get you in the habit and change your like culture and hair
Right.
world. You know, get you in good habits.
We can
to
always
get them
dye it
there.
black.
Yes, absolutely. No, we don't. We shouldn't always dye it black.
No, I'm just
you know
saying.
What I mean?
You know, saying
Don't dye your hair
default,
back,
go
please.
back to black. You know.
Yeah.
So now this is beautiful, amazing. What's going on here?
This was actually out of a color correction. This
Ooh.
was a color correction.
Wait a minute, do you have like magic in your fingers? How did you do that? That was pretty good.
But she is a client that actually came from what we were just talking about, where her
Sure.
stylist wasn't giving her what she wanted.
Okay.
She had a lot of damage, she had a lot of breakage, and she wasn't achieving the blonde that she wanted.
Or the kind of blonde.
Yes, the kind of
Yeah.
blonde that she wanted. So she
was that yellowy or orangey
she had,
blonde,
Yeah,
yeah.
she just saw a lot of orange tones in her hair. So I went in and did basically back-to-back baby fine highlights, because she, you know, some of your clients just want them light.
So
white and
you were going to
tight.
transition her.
Yes.
She didn't want to be platinum white.
No.
She wanted to be
She
dimensional.
still wanted to be dimensional, but she has about 50% gray, but her natural base is about a very pale, like ashy 7, beautiful.
Oh,
So
okay.
it blended in, and
Yeah.
that's another thing you have to see, you know, what you're dealing with.
Yeah, what am I working with?
Why fix what's not broken?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, this can make your life easier. We can do baby fine highlights back to back, have it grow out beautifully, but it blends your grays so you don't have a line.
That's
growing
right.
in
And
your
it's not a nightmare
No, it's
when
no.
you're walking around feeling, gosh,
No,
I feel
yeah.
old, I feel ugly.
No,
right,
no,
yeah.
no base breaking, no
Right.
shadow roots, and her life will be easy. And it's just blonde, beautiful bombshell.
Yeah.
And so this was actually her first time in, her session in. We got her, and she was I think her old stylist was putting. It's communication. You know,
yeah,
it's not
it
that
is.
she was doing anything wrong. It was the communication or lack of knowledge. I don't know what it was, but she was doing low lights, which then we all know fades and warms up, and that's when you see brass. That's when your clients are like, it's yellow, and I'm like,
Right.
well,
'Cause it is.
Yeah, because it is, because that's the artificial color.
Absolutely.
And once I explained to her that I'm fighting artificial color, if I keep putting in there, I'm going to keep lifting it, and that's causing more damage. Then she was like, oh no, let's not do that. So she was able to be patient with me and kind of allow me to do my job. And then now that she's been coming in on a regular basis, perfect, beautiful.
Well, you get it wired. Sometimes it's not 100% there
No, it's
till the
it's
third
not.
time
Yeah,
or
and that's,
whatever.
And
Yeah.
that's the truth of color correction. I always say you're going to walk out with good hair, but it's not going to be exactly what you're thinking.
Okay.
But it will be with time and patience. And what I tell them, what I do personally, I want to keep the integrity of the hair. I want good, healthy hair, because if you have long hair like this and it looks fried and gross, you might as well just cut it off.
Absolutely.
If you're gonna have long hair, it has to be beautiful.
Yes. Yes.
So, and that's what we
And that
both
requires
agree on.
home maintenance.
Yes, and
Yeah.
so that's what we both agreed on. And again, consultation. She works with me very well. She's great clientele, great human being.
Awesome.
You know, so
Well, it's beautiful work. I mean,
Thank
that
you.
is just like anybody would love that.
yeah.
Yeah, bottom
and then
line.
I would love that.
Yeah, big time, right? Yeah. Only if you could make a duplicate
take
of yourself
my head
to work on
off
yourself.
and then
yeah.
work on it. That's some creepy.
Any questions,
stuff.
guys? Any new questions? Do we have any more pictures? Or are we good? I know we're getting
good.
near. Steven, do we have any more pictures? Oh, we do. We have another one. This is
We've got
great.
This one, yeah, this one was also a little color correction
Yeah.
that I did, and she waited some time to come see me. So she just didn't get anything done for, I think, 7 months is what she told me.
Wow.
So she went in, she wanted to be blonde, but she wanted the balayage and dimension, but she had artificial color right about there, and 7
from
months.
here down? Yeah.
7 months of regrowth.
Okay.
So again, I went in back to back balayage combination of baby lights, and this is the one technique that we're seeing more modern these days because we wanted to really bring the hair. She wanted instant gratification, and we had the time, she had the money, so we did it. And we blasted her hair all in one section, and this took me about 5 hours to do.
5 hours, yeah.
Yeah, she had a lot of hair. So.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah.
That's thick hair there.
But we did it one process, toned her. I shadow root her, matched her base, no grays, and that's what came out of that.
Gorgeous. I'm sure that got you a lot of referrals.
She was very happy with it. So she went out, I think, the same night, and then for the next 3 days.
Oh yeah, she had to show it off, right?
Sending me selfies, and that's really the fun part of my job, is the reaction I get privately from my clients. You know, and be like, "Oh my God, this guy asked me on a date because I'm blonde now."
That's right.
You know,
right. So you have some power there, right? Hairdresser power. That's what I keep saying.
Yeah, definitely.
I love it. I love it. Any other questions on this? How about, do we have another next? Do we have any more? Are we good? That's good. I think pretty much you have the record now of the most looks that we've shown and talked about, and you are very good at explaining it. I think people got a lot out of this, and like I say, guys, this will be available on YouTube, on Facebook, and also on Instagram. But what we'd like you to do is subscribe on Facebook, or excuse me, on YouTube, because then we'll just send you a notification when you subscribe. And then what you're going to be doing, we're going to be doing for you, is we're going to be breaking this interview down into smaller segments, so you can post them for all your followers when you have a chance, like one a week for the next 5 weeks.
This is such an amazing program, and Hairdresser Power is just amazing. I mean,
thank you.
Thank you for doing that. I mean, it's awesome.
And we're going to give you a bunch of goodies, and if you like them, tell your friends. You know,
Will do.
That's the way to do it. And thank you so much for being here. And until next time, we'll be looking out for you, looking for new information, and sharing with each other. Right?
Sounds great.
That's the way to do it. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye.